Good more afternoon, evening. I'd like to take a minute to give an alternate perspective upon the situation many of us find ourselves in right now. It is unique, and perhaps not in a way that you've heard other people say it's unique. What I'm looking at is the uniqueness that comes from, for many people, the fact that all of a sudden, without much warning at all, a very large amount of constraints on their time have been suddenly removed. What I'm saying is that usually people have a lot of things that they have to do and where they have to be because it's required of them, and this takes a lot of time out of the day. It is not uncommon for certain people to wake up, quickly get out of the house, and then go, and not literally stop until maybe there's 30 minutes and then it's bed. And then it starts all over again. And now all of a sudden, many of us find ourselves, all those time constraints are suddenly removed. Now, I know this doesn't apply to everybody because there's definitely a lot of people where those time constraints have been removed and new stressors have been put upon their life. But for many of us, we are finding ourselves with a lot of unstructured time, and this is unique. This most likely will not happen again in many people's lives. Now, I get it, there's certain times like a summer or vacation, but those are always planned for and you know they're going to happen. All of a sudden, when something comes out of the blue, it's a surprise. And thus you're left with the question of, what are you going to do? Obviously, the joke is, okay, well, we're going to stream a lot of online content and just relax on the couch and do our civic duty of stopping the spread of the virus. And that's great. There's a lot of people that is going to take a lot of time for themselves, and I'd be lying if I say that I haven't been taking a lot of time for myself in activities such as reading the news, relaxing, catching up on YouTube. But think about this. You have been given hours, stretching into weeks, to do something productive and perhaps make yourself into a more powerful and better person. So the first thing I did was say, what can I do aside from relaxing? What can I do that makes me a better, more powerful person that I can take with me going in the years forward? Just something that is productive. And I made some choices for myself, and I'm doing them. And then I thought, let's put this out there to say, here's a brainstorm. Now, I'm not doing all these. I'm throwing it out there so you can think about it. If any of these strike a chord with you and you say, hey, that's a good idea. Maybe I want to do that along with relaxing, along with my responsibilities that I still have, but I have this extra time. Maybe I want to delve and do a deep dive into one of these things and progress and learn something and become something that'll stay with me for years on end. For example, I've got a big list. I'll explain them as I go down the list. First thing, if I were to recommend anything that everyone should do if they have extra time, organize your belongings, right? Clean up your space, check things that you've been saving for no reason, organize your room, get rid of stuff that doesn't bring you joy or you don't need. If you want to hold on to something that I do is take a picture of it, save the picture, but get rid of the thing. Organize your belongings, clean house, take a look at what you own, what's in your life, organize it, get rid of the stuff that you don't need. You could learn to cook. We've got right now 1, 2, 3. If you're watching this right now on a Monday, which I like to call day now because they're all the same, we've got 3 weeks. And when you go into any of these, the research is clear. The best thing to do is to do it once a day, do a little bit every day, once every 2 days. It's time and consistency that makes a big change in your life. Now's a great time to learn to cook. Go into it, do the research, have other people help you. I cannot stress enough how important it is to be able to cook for yourself. Maybe now is the time you want to start eating healthy. I'm not saying you don't eat healthy, but maybe you don't eat healthy. now's a great time to form new habits. Because really, when we look at this list, perhaps that's what it is. 3 weeks, uninterrupted weeks of forming a new habit. And that's at the minimum. You might have longer. We don't know what's going to happen. You might have longer that you can do things. We might be out for more than 3 weeks. And even if we're not out for 3 weeks, think about this. You've got 3 weeks of uninterrupted habit forming. And then you come back, and it's really only 2 months, and then you have a summer. So you get started on these 3 weeks. You can keep whatever habits you are forming going to the end of the school year, and then you can continue it over the summer. And then all of a sudden, you have multiple months of learning something or starting new habits. Maybe now's the time. Maybe your sports have been totally canceled. Your season's done, and there's no hope of it coming back. Maybe now's the time where you want to start a strength program 3 times a week to get strong. And maybe you want to do a program where you just stay in shape with some cardio. There's plenty of everything out there, but maybe now is the time where you're like, hey, I never got around to actually becoming stronger. Well, it takes 3 times a week with a really good program, and over 3 weeks, and then till the end of the school year, you can become pretty darn strong in just a couple months. Now, I've recently found this. It's called Coursera.org. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's literally real famous colleges like Yale and Duke. They put online courses out there for anyone to sign up for and take. Okay, some of them cost a little bit of money. I'm not sure how much. I just know that for March and April, Yale has put out 20 of their courses. Right now, I have signed up and I am taking the Science of Well-Being. It's basically a course of the psychology of happiness. That's one of the things that I'm doing to improve myself over the next few weeks. I'm only 2 days into it, but I can tell you my gut says that this is going to be something important. So maybe you want to look into that, Coursera.org. And there's dozens of colleges with hundreds of courses, many of them free, and maybe you'll find one, and these are real type of programs put together with a college. It doesn't get more pro than that. I'm really excited of the psychology of happiness. I think it's really going to help. My gut says that it's going to be really good. Well, if you've got 3 weeks, why not a focused effort of giving up 1 to 2 of your bad habits? Come up with perhaps one really bad habit you don't like that you do, and be like, I've got 3 weeks and I'm going to concentrate and focus on giving that up. Here's something that might be very useful. You've got some time, so why don't you have conversations with adults? I respect it. Your conversations with your friends are important, but there is something so different when you interact in real situations with adults. We brainstormed the things that have lasting impact on your life, and being able to hold a real conversation with an adult, starting now and getting good at it, is really going to help going forward. Maybe you've always wanted to learn an instrument. Maybe you've started to learn an instrument and just gave up of it because for whatever reason. I've done that before. Well, now's the time where you can say, you know what, I'm going to practice a little bit every single day and get into the habit. It is never too early to learn personal finance. You would not believe how many good resources are out there on the internet, and it's literally not political. There is hardly any fake news on personal finance. You search it and it's right there. How do I budget? What are the steps I should do with my money? It is straight up accessible to anybody. Never too early to learn about personal finance. If you are at all spiritual, you could become more spiritual. So say spirituality or a belief system is important in your life. You could delve even deeper into it over the next 3 weeks. I do say, be careful of learning meditation. That is not easy. It's a real thing. And if you just start meditating, it can go a little bit wrong. It's just be careful if you want to be like, oh, I'm going to start meditating. No, that doesn't always work really well. Okay, I would recommend replacing, if you think you want to start meditating, I would replace it with guided relaxation. Find ways to relax. Find apps to help you relax. find websites to help you relax, and they can guide you through the relaxation. That's more accessible than meditation. Meditation's a serious deal. Guided relaxation is a good place to start. You could volunteer. No one I've ever met who has volunteered, it sticks with them. They say it makes them a better person. Maybe now's a perfect time to do that. You could increase your flexibility if you are not flexible at all. That's one of those things that needs constant daily work, and now's a beautiful time to get into the habit. Chances are you might be good at something. So if you are good at something that you consider worthwhile, now is a great time to do some focused practice, right? Is delve into what you're good at and what you love. Spend more time on it. See if you can't reach the next level. Something that could stay with you. Research and find resources to learn public speaking. If you can learn public speaking, if you can practice speaking well, I cannot stress enough how many doors this might open to be able to speak in front of people. It is a skill. It is amazing. You could do research and learn how to interact. This is something I'm interested in. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Okay, being liked, getting along, it's something I definitely have to work on if I so choose to work on it. Charisma, that word is just being liked, basically. It's the same thing, charisma and being liked. Learning how to interact, appropriate interactions. I think that's pretty good too. Do research on how to interact with people and appropriate interactions. Moving on, even though it's not over on the right, I realized you could practice writing to be able to get your thoughts clearly on paper and take something you like, take something you're knowledgeable and interested in, and write about it and make yourself clear and make every word count, and then edit what you've written, because you may be brilliant at something, but when it comes to clearly writing about it, that's what you should do if you want to get better at writing. Take something you know so much about, it's second nature, you're an expert in it, and then write about it, but make it clear, make it concise, choose your words wisely. It's not as easy as you think, and it's a great skill. So those are all that we came up with. Remember the guiding principle. To make something a habit, to improve, it's slow little bites. Once a day, once every 2 days, and consistency. And that's the opportunity you're given right now. If you don't have any other stressors, and if you do have other stressors, okay, and we totally respect that and recognize that. And so that would make doing any of these, or what you could come up with, more difficult. But if you have all your stressors and your time constraints removed, maybe it's time to think, let's do something that can stay with us for the years to come. And of course, spend some time watching what's online. All right, take care. See ya.